So after seeing Rangers lose the way they did to Hibs, Mr. Van Bronckhorst taking over at the club, we decided that Rangers will be the next rebuild on the channel. I'm going to put a little bit of a spin on this one as well with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst taking over. We're going to try and lean towards Dutch players. I'm going to try and sign just mainly Dutch players. We're going to look for academy players that are Dutch as well as Scottish as well. I'm not going to just completely lose the idea that we need Scottish players, and I think that's going to be the little bit of the theme of this rebuild. I'm also going to try and play a style of football that he plays from what I've got from Googling, because I don't know that much about how he plays, although he has had great success with Feyenoord. I'm sure Rangers fans yourselves are very excited at his appointment, and hopefully we win a Champions League in this one. It's all about that Champions League. Now, if you are new around here, please make sure to smash that subscribe button as well as hitting the like button if you go on to enjoy the video. Let's get the rebuild underway straight away, meet the team, see how much money we're going to have to work with this first season, and buy some bloody good players. So this is the formation we start out with. Let's take a look at the squad and see who we've got at the team. Now, I know that Rangers have some very good players in this squad. Like, Gerrard has not left them in a bad spot, so we do have some decent players to kick things off. And in the Scottish Premiership, no offense to the Scottish Premiership, this team should be very decent. So the whole point is going to be now building up to being able to do it in European football. Of course, they won the league last season. I'd like to win several trophies across this rebuild though, not just the league. I want to win the cups as well, although I think there's only the one cup. There's no Betfred Cup in FIFA. Pretty positive about that. Didn't even realise that Stephen Davis was still playing football. We've got Glenn Kamara though as well, who's a very good player. Him and Aribo would probably be the two central midfielders. I want to get as much game time as possible and hopefully improve them. We'll go through as well and just give everyone a development plan so everyone's on one. Ryan Kent as well, the main man. We need to figure out where we're going to play him and Hadji, because those two are going to be massive for us. I'm pretty sure that Van Bronckhorst plays a 4-3-3. Takes a little bit from Pep's style of football from what I've been reading. So I think Hadji on one side and Ryan Kent on the other could be how we kick off for this season. Morales is still at Rangers, which is crazy. Of course, as a Leeds fan, I love Kamaru. Hopefully we can get some out of him. And Jermaine Defoe, 38-year-old Jermaine Defoe. Let's see what happens with him. He's retiring at the end of the season. Gutted. He's got the number 9 as well, so we'll be handing that on to someone else. I don't know how much money we've got here for season number 1. I don't think it's a ridiculous amount of money, so I'm probably not going to do... That's a lot of wage, but I'm probably not going to do too much business in this first window. I might actually take a look at Feyenoord, maybe go back and get 1 or 2 players from there. I think McGregor's gotten on a little bit, so there is a Dutch goalkeeper that we could definitely go and sign. Let's go make some deals. I'm going to put some players on the list. Again, with these rebuilds, though, they're not supposed to be realistic. It's going to get wild. We're going to sign some crazy names, so do not get upset if we don't sign the players that you want. And also, if we sell the players that you really like. So this is the starting 11 I've got here going into the first season before we make any changes. We're going to play a 4-3-3, but we're going to play a flat midfield. So we're going to play 3 central midfielders. I think that's the best way to play. Morales at top, of course, Hadji and Kent on the wing. So I think this is actually a really good base formation for this season number 1. There's definitely areas we can improve, but you can already see straight across the board, we've got very similar overall rated players, which should be good for this league. So the first transfer in this one is going to be one for the future. Mohamed Darambe is going to be the first signing. No, he's not Dutch, but he plays for Ajax. He's 69 rated, the magic number, 19 years of age, and I need backup now for the left wing and the right wing, and that's exactly what we've done here. He's the first of 2 transfers I'm going to show you right now. 3.9 million. He's going to go up in value. We know that already. He's going to be a really good valued player to the team. And that's kind of what we're going to do. I was thinking in my mind just one big transfer. And there was a few players. I've scouted a hell of a lot of players just playing in the Eredivisie or at Dutch themselves. And after weighing up some of the options and the price of some of the better players like the Gravenberches, the Bylows, I decided that it would be better this season just to secure the future, because we don't have much depth in the team. That's going to be talent that we use moving forward. This lad is going to be that. He's not going to be joining on his own, though. He's going to be coming in with our lad Ernest here, who is 17 years of age and 61 rated. He's got potential to be good. He's extremely quick. So if you're doing a save with a smaller team where you've got a spare million, this guy looks like he could actually be really good. At 17, I hope he grows a lot. He's going to be the backup right winger this season. That's right, the 17-year-old's going to be dropped in the deep end straight away in this Rangers team. Let's get them trained up. That's the first 2 moves that we've made in this rebuild. Again, like the Tottenham said, though, it looks like the youth academy, we haven't just got an outright superstar. This Gomez lad looks like potentially the best player in here. 17 years of age, Colombian goalkeeper, but at 56 overall, he's never really going to touch the first team. And no one in here stands out apart from maybe the 60 overall Ghanaian right midfielder. But I mean, again, we don't know what his potential is. So this academy is kind of just, I mean, we'll keep the goalkeeper, but it's basically just going to be scrapped. And I am already sending my scout out to the Netherlands, hopefully to find some really talented players. What will most likely be the biggest signing in this window, and he is a Dutch superstar, or at least was supposed to be the next big thing when he got snapped up by Barcelona, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him. But now at 24 years of age, and at the end of his contract this season, we managed to snatch him up for 12.4 million. 77 rated is an upgrade in the backline instantly. Well, I'm excited about Richadly Bazor, I'm not going to lie. Really a big money signing, but instantly there improves that backline, which is exactly what I want us to do. He's the first upgrade that we will sign in this rebuild. But at this stage, we don't have that much money left, and there aren't that many sellable assets to move out of the club. In fact, so far, I've really struggled to get anybody to leave the club. This might be it for the window. There might be one or two youngsters that I bring in, but I think we'll fast forward now at least until January. So here we are in January, and the first season is not going fully to plan. 4 losses. 4 losses in the simulation in the league, which is absolutely madness. But we've kind of found a bit of a rhythm now, but catching Celtic up will be difficult. We might not win the league in the first season. We got smashed in the Europa League as well. It was a difficult group with Lyon and Sparta Prague. It's not an easy group, but luckily Brøndby were really bad as well. And we managed to pick up 2 wins, both against them, which does give us at least Europa Conference. In the conference, we're going to be taking on Slavia Prague. But I think that's enough of that. I think that's it. We're at the midway stage. I don't want to show you how much the players have grown or anything yet. We're going to go to the end of the season, fly through this first year as quickly as possible. Let's see where we ended up at the end of season 1. Here we are then at the end of the season, and unfortunately we didn't win the league. The board are a little bit unhappy with me at the moment, and the simulation has certainly not made my life any easier. Rangers finished second in the league, just behind Celtic on 85 points. We did push them a lot further than I thought we would do after the first half of the season. It's the first half of the season, in my opinion, that sunk us, whether that was strength in depth or players just kind of getting to grips with the new system. I've got no clue, but that first half of the season was really bad, and we slipped up towards the end here. We were a point behind Celtic, and we got a draw against Hearts and a loss to Celtic at the end of the season, which does give Celtic the title. Hopefully, the board aren't too angry and we get another crack at this. What didn't help, though, is the fact that we didn't win the Scottish Cup either. We didn't even make it to the final. We got knocked out in the semis 4-3 on penalties to St. Mirren. Absolutely disastrous. Didn't manage to do it in Europe as well. Slavia knocked us out in the preliminary round, and it just wasn't a very good season. I don't know why. The simulation can be that way. We all know that. But yeah, just wasn't the greatest of seasons. But we've started to be able to impart what we wanted to. And the board are a little bit unhappy, but I still have my job at the minute. They haven't sacked me yet, so I think I probably will be okay because I know they're a lot more lenient now. One of the plus sides to this year, found ourselves a gem. Kai de Boer is going to be an absolute beast. I am so happy that we found him. I'm going to retrain him. I'm actually going to call him up to the first team instantly. 63 overall potential between 81 and 91. This guy, he's going to be great. He's going to be the striker that we build around. Yeah, he's got skinny arms, but it doesn't matter because we're not actually going to see him in matches. So that doesn't make a difference. Hopefully, he can reach that 91 potential. But let's see how the team got on this year. So stats-wise, it's not a surprise that Morelos was the top goal scorer with 30 goals. Hadji behind him with Ryan Kent. Those were the 3 that I really needed to use as an engine. Ryan Kent has gone up to 81, by the way. 81 for Mr. Ryan Kent. Unbelievable season for him, especially with growth. Hadji's gone up by 5 as well, to be fair to him now. 79 rated. He's going to keep getting better, which means this front 3 will keep on improving. Morales went up by 4 this season, which is ridiculous. The 25-year-old Colombian. I was tempted to sell him, and not now. He's going to be staying there for at least another season. Bazor going up by 4 as well. 81 rated now as a centre-back. Haribo up by 3. Let's look at the entirety of the team and how well they've done. Some of the youngsters that we brought in as well. I want to see how they've improved. Defoe, of course, going down by 7. Fofana, who we brought in, only up by 2, but he'll get more game time next year once Sakala goes. So I loan out Kamaru because what you have to do when you're doing the rebuilds and you're simming it is you can only really have 2 players for each position. Just kind of how it works. So for Fofana to get that game time, I need no other competition. So that's the plan up top. I think he's still going to be very good at 19, going up by 2. But of course, the new youngster, he's going to be trained though now to be the next striker, I think. He needs to improve his finishing. Actually, I feel like he's a centre mid. It would take 45 weeks though to get centre mid for him. He could play cam, but I think he could play in the centre of the park. Yes, he can't defend, but that can be improved. I'm going to go for it. Because he's 16, he's so young. We're going to retrain him to be a centre mid. The position we're lacking with a little bit as well. Ernest went up by 5, though. Great to see the backup right winger up by 5. If he could do similar next season, that'd be huge for us. Durambe went up by 5 as well. 74 rated now. So you can see the team is definitely getting better. And the players we brought in have massively helped improve the team. Kamara going up by 2. Centre mid is potentially somewhere we're weakest at the moment and somewhere where we need to look at improving in this window. I went out and I signed Kai Yanahova as well. He's gone up by 20 years of age, the backup right back. I just changed him up there to right back, and I'll just put him on a development plan as well. He's about to go up to 68, so we will see that very soon. But he's just a solid backup to Tavernier at the moment, who's 30. So at some stage, we're going to have to replace him. But I think we get at least another year. He's gone up by 2 again this season, the captain. Simpson went up by 3. Alander went up by 2 as well. Balogun will be leaving the club. He's a little bit old. 4, of course, for Bazor. Goldson went up by 1. Bassi up by 3. And then Barisic 1. So left back again, I like Barisic. But I think that's somewhere that we're a little bit weak. And goalkeeper's a problem because McGregor's going. He's 40. I thought he'd retire, but he's not going to retire. But we're going to let him go. So I think all the money, if possible, will probably end up on a goalkeeper. Moving to the second season here, and I wasted no time because we needed a goalkeeper, didn't we? So I brought in Silerson. It's not who we wanted. I wanted Bilo, but he's going to cost 40 million. The board have given me 18. Of course, we didn't do that well last year, so I'm going to have to be really clever again in this transfer window in order to push us forward. I think Silerson's great at 33. It's just a 2-year deal. He'll be our goalkeeper for the next 2 years, and hopefully if he's playing every game, he shouldn't go down too much in rating. 81 rated. It's an upgrade as well in that position. Again, not wasted any time here, and it's not really the transfer we wanted from an age standpoint, but again, we need to be better this season, and we were really weak in midfield. So I've brought in Van Ginkel, the ex-Chelsea player, currently playing for PSV at the time of signing him. 6.5 million because his contract was going to be up. He's 29, but if we play him for the next 2 seasons, how long his contract is, it should work out well for us and give me enough time to either scout the next centre mids that we need or find the youngsters that we can bring in to the team. Van Ginkel joins though. I think they're 2 good players to bring in, and we haven't spent that much. We've only spent what, just under 14 million on the 2 of them. We needed that. I needed another centre mid. All I've got Arabo is Kamara and Jack hasn't exactly been great. I needed that extra player as well as a backup for when we're playing in Europe. Again, it's been a bit of a wheeling dealing kind of window, so expectedly we've had to wheel and deal, and this will be the 3rd and final signing of this window. Unfortunately, we can't make some of the deals we wanted. There was a left back I really wanted, but I just couldn't get the funds together. We've had some huge bids for players like Morelos, 41 million for him. I think next season is where we cash in on that kind of player, not right now. Jordan Teze, though, is only 22. He's a 75 rated centre-back. He's brilliant to bring in when we're playing in Europe or in cup games, and might even grow good enough to be better than Goldson, who is getting on a little bit now. So I'm happy to welcome him to the club. We're going to fast forward now, but first of all, I thought I'd give you guys a little sneak peek of what's going on in the academy, and we've got 2 Scottish players now. So I'm scouting Scotland and Holland this season, and I think I'll probably just scout those 2 nations for the rest of the rebuild because that's the 2 nations we're kind of looking at. At the moment, we've got Jeffrey. Positive that that's probably not the right position for him, so we'll take a look at it. But another 63 rated Reece McLaughlin in the club. Is he really a striker, though? We'll take a cheeky look, and he's a centre forward at the moment, which isn't a position we play. I don't think he's a striker. I think he's a winger. He's left-footed. I want him to cut inside, so we're actually going to train him to be a right winger, and I think he'll get an upgrade doing that. Take a look at Lucas as well, and I'm not sure if he's a winger, but he's not a centre mid. He's not a cam or a striker, so I think it's going to have to be left winger for him, and we'll see how he gets on. I'll just train him, give him a plan, see how he progresses. Also, we did play a playoff for the Champions League to see if we could make it in there, and we only just lost out to Fenerbahce 5-4 on penalties. Not bad. I didn't expect to win it. I actually didn't expect us to drive Fenerbahce as close as we did do, which is a good sign, but we will be playing Europa League football this year. Cheeky January update here, and I'm not going to spoil anything that's going on in the league, but we have made a signing and a sale. I'm sorry, you Barisic fans. He's gone at the age of 30. We moved him out, and we've managed to sign Mitchell Bakker. It's the left back I wanted in the summer, and I've finally got him here in January. He's 78 rated at 22. He will improve. We bagged ourselves a star left back. We needed that, and the team has really started taking shape. Can we win the league? Can we win the cup? And can we do something in Europe? That's massive, and it kept me job as well. And that will go a long way to helping me do so. The end of season number 2, and what a turnaround for Rangers in the league. We absolutely smashed it. We blew the competition away this season. 98 points, Celtic behind us on 79, then Hearts following up on 59. Absolutely smashed the league this season. Let's see how we got in the cups though. I want trophies. We've got one now in the bag. We've got the Scottish Premiership in the cabinet. Follow that up with a Scottish Cup win as well, beating Celtic 3-1 in the final. Not a bad way for the second season. I knew once we got players in place and we filled the positions we needed to, that we would kick on and start kicking ass. Now, we know we were in the Europa League as well. Let's see how far we got. Did we get a final? We didn't. Roma beat Villarreal in the final. A semi? Not a semi. Roma knocked out Manchester City. What are they doing there in the semi-finals of the Europa League? We did, however, get a quarter-final and lose to Roma, which isn't too bad. The eventual winners of this competition knocked us out. That is a decent showing from us this year in European competition. Of course, next year, I think automatically we will be in the Champions League group stage. So that is something to build towards. I'm not sure how much money we're going to get. I've got none at the moment. I will cheekily show you the youth academy. This is what we're rocking with at the moment. There's a few players that are decent that might make it potentially, but there's two, of course, here that look very good. That's Kirk Thompson, who I'm going to promote straight away now so we don't lose him at the age of 17. That's probably the best time to promote them. And our lad Barry. So the scout who went to Scotland has done a much better job. That said scout is now scouting Holland because we've done really bad at finding some young Dutch superstars. We've got only one so far, but Barry Curry looks like he'll probably be promoted at some point during next season as well. He looks decent, but his potential isn't unreal. Let's take a look and see how the team got on this year. Is it any surprise that our top goal scorer again was Alfredo Morelos, now 83 rated? I talked about potentially selling him. Unless we get a huge bid, he's going absolutely nowhere. I'm loving him. He's fantastic. Kent goes up by 2 and scores 23 goals this season as well with 9 assists. And Hadji, 16-16. Not bad from him either. 82 rated now, +3. Kind of developed a team now that is probably too good for the Scottish Premiership. Even Tavernier there chipping in with 10 goals. And he's gone up by 3. At 31, I was ready to replace him. He's 82 rated. What a season that is for Tavernier. Top assist, of course, was Hadji, but behind him is Aribo, who is now 80 rated overall. Decent showing from him. Kamara as well. Only got up by 1. A little bit good about Kamara. Some point probably have to replace him. Bazor went up by 2 as well. Let's see how the team grew. Van Ginkel going up by 1, which is good to see. He was there to fill in this season. And Tillerson not going down, which is the huge thing. So Fofana went up by 3, now 71 rated, and hopefully can continue to be that backup. Ernest Poku going up by 4. So at 19, he's slowly getting up there in numbers. He might be good, but he's going to have some youngsters from Scotland right behind him. Up by 6, Thompson and McLaughlin 5. We've got some options now at right wing. These two are going to be added to the loan list for this next season, though. There's some options there, though. Breathing down Ryan Kent's neck. Darame went up by 4, so there will become a point where we have to determine, right, do we keep Hadji and do we move Darame to be the starter? Because I think in terms of growth, Darame probably will be the starter in a couple of seasons. Always good to have someone that good as a backup, though. Central midfielders, unfortunately, not too much. The ball now has changed to a centre mid. Only 64 rated, but he's 17, so now he should start to go up a lot more. At least I hope he does. Over going up by 3 as well, now 71 rated. Not a bad little backup to Tavernier. We might look at that later down the line. Teze went up by 3, though, as well, so I think Teze and Bazor are kind of the partnership now at the back. We might actually move on one of the centre-backs. We'll see. I don't know how much money they're going to give me. Bassi went up by 3. Baka up by 1. Of course, only having him half a season. But that's it. The team are looking decent. I don't know if we can mount anything in Europe yet. I don't think the midfield's strong enough. I think you need a full team quite into the 80s to do anything in Europe. But hey, we'll see what happens. And the board, as per usual, don't like me that much. But I did win them a double this season, so I'm not going to complain. Let's move on now into season number 3. See what business we can do. See how much money we've got. We've kind of hit a stage now in the rebuild where only big signings are going to have an impact. And with 30 million in the budget this season, there ain't going to be too many massive signings. So what I've done is I've gone and signed our right back for the future, David Wrench. I think that's how you say his name. I could be absolutely butchering it. He's only 20, he's 77 rated. He's going to keep getting better now. Tavernier is getting older. Although he had such an unbelievable season last year, I think he will do again this year. It's not going to stay forever. So this is the man to replace him in the future. And that's kind of all we're going to do. It's literally all I can do. I'm just going to keep scouting for these great young players and move forward that way. I wanted a centre mid. It just isn't feasible at this moment in time. There's no one there that we could get for the price range that was an upgrade on what we already have. And that's where we're at now in the stage of the rebuild, where we need upgrades to the team. And the money's just not there. And I suppose it's never going to be in Scotland. So hopefully some of these young players can come through and have a big impact. If anything massive happens, I will come back. But if not, you will probably see me now at the end of season number 3, where hopefully we've done all right in the Champions League. and we've won the Scottish League and the Scottish Cup again. The end of another season is upon us, and as expected, we've blown the competition out of the water again in the league, and I expect that to happen now, season in, season out. There's 2 windows now where Celtic haven't sold a single player or signed a single player, which is a little bit weird, but again, it is FIFA. But we smashed the league again this season, and I imagine now as we go through the years, that's not really something we need to aim for. We've won the Scottish Cup as well, but all that matters now, in my mind, after picking up 4 trophies in the last 2 seasons, is can we start doing something in Europe? We did make it into the Champions League. We had to go through 2 qualifying rounds, which, of course, there's not really any league system for seeding, so we'll have to do that every time we're in the Champions League, but I guess it gives us a little bit extra match sharpness. I don't know, but we missed out by a point, which I think is very good in Rangers' first year back in the Champions League. Only 1 point off qualifying to the knockout stages. How did we get on in the Europa League? I didn't make it to the final of a Europa League, but did we achieve our first semi? No, we didn't. But the quarters, I'll take that. Again, it's just about progressing. We've been knocked out in the quarters again, which, yes, is a bit of a shame, but again, Sporting, one of the better teams here, only just losing to Milan. And again, we're giving it a good go. I think where we're weak at the moment is the centre of the park. We need to improve the centre midfield, and I was hoping to do that with youth prospects, but I've just gone through a full season. I'll show you the youth academy now, and the youth prospects that we got in Holland just weren't very good. I'm going to now look for playmakers, I think, in Holland, but this is what we've got. We've got Hendricks, who might be decent, who knows, but it's not really much to work with. If their overall is 55 coming out of the academy, they're not going to make it now. So I'm going to release you as well. And just because you've got some potential, I'll keep you around. No, I'm not. I'm going to release you. So if they're coming out of the academy at this stage, where we're at, in the 50s, they're never going to make it. Love the headband, Hendricks. So maybe he could be one for the future. He's grown quite a bit this season. The problem is I've just noticed his potential sucks. So he's going as well. So a full year of scouting has kind of not been very good for us. Now, I didn't look for a particular style of player there where we went out in Holland. This time round, this time round, we're going to look for technically gifted players, I think, in Holland, and see if we can find something worthwhile. Let's see how the boys got on this season, and of course, as expected, Kent, Morelos and Hadji are all up there with the stats. It's always going to be that case. I think Morelos going up by 2 again. He's now 85 rated. I don't think we will cash in on him. If we can use him up top for as long as humanly possible, I think I will do. I'm enjoying Morelos. He's been fantastic for us. Ryan Kent as well, 29 goals, up 4 again. He's 87 rated, surely playing in the England team at this stage. 13 assists, and Hadji up 3 again this time, 85 rated, and he's had a good time as well. But let's look at the top assists. Good to see Aribo up there for top assists. Only going up 1 now, so the only 80 rated midfielder we've got, and that's probably our problem. Kamara 79. They're good enough to be backups. Now Van Ginkel is probably going to be added to the transfer list now, and we're going to start kind of blowing the team up a little bit because we need to now progress to the next stage. Let's just take a quick look. Silicon going up 1. So, again, I've given him a new contract as well. Why not? Baka went up by 4, 83 rated. I knew he was going to be a smart choice. And Bassi going up by 1. So, he's an okay backup at the minute. Goldson up by 1. Bazor up by 1. Teze not going up at all, which is a bit of a shame. Didn't get that much football this season either. Haaland staying the same. So, he's going to be put on the transfer list as well. I'm going to try and do as much business as possible. Tavernier is just holding on to that right-back position. But Wrench is there, ready to take it. Up by 3, 80 rated. And Patterson, I would be happy with him being the backup. Over just hasn't quite been the player I wanted to be. We're going to get him a loan and see if that helps improve him. As I was saying, in the midfield, this is our problem, right? We've got the trio in midfield here. Aribo, Van Ginkel and Kamara. But only one that's 80 rated. And to play in the Champions League, you need more. The ball has now gone up by 4 again at 18. And he's slowly, potentially, coming a player that could be playing in that central midfield. Oliver Ray went up by 4. We'll see what happens with him. I'm not sure he's going to be good enough. And Williamson only up by 1. He's gone. Durambe only up by 1 this season. I think if we was playing him more, this guy would become unbelievable. But it's the unfortunate side effect that Hadji is just so good. But I love having him. They both need contract renewals. I'm probably going to go through that and do all the contracts now. Curry going up by 3, so that is good to see. Couldn't get him a loan out of the club, but we will try and do that this season. Moving into the 70s at 17, 18 isn't actually that bad. He could be good. Needs to hit the gym, though. The skinny arms are not working for him. Oku starting to slow down a little bit as well. He's hit the stage now of his career where he needs the game time, and unfortunately, Kent is just very, very good at football. A good sign for us, though, was McLaughlin out on loan, going up to 72, going up by 4. more, and Thompson, the loan, has done him absolutely bloody wonders. Up by 8 out on loan by Thompson. Ooh, he could really start to push that right wing. He's certainly probably going to be the backup, as I will loan out Poku now next season. And then Fofana, not really growing with Morelos. I'm actually going to add him to the loan list, see if we can get him some loan time. That might help him grow. Again, that's going to be impacted because Morelos played like 50-odd games last season, so he played pretty much every single game of football. That's the team. That's how they're looking. I'm hoping this next season we get that extra bit of cash for doing so well again this year, and we can start really beefing up this midfield. I've looked at Dutch central midfielders. For the money we've got, we're really going to struggle. The same with centre-backs. De Ligt, we're going to struggle. So we're at a stage now where unless it's in the 100 millions, I can't stick to this Netherlands rule, although we are going to do that with a scouting, and I'm going to have to go a little bit further abroad or maybe even closer to home to find the improvements we need in the squad. Might end up being the only signing because once again, we weren't blessed with too much money, but we've gone and done it. We've sealed our goalkeeper for the future. It's going to be Bilo. Cost us a bit of cash, hasn't he? 45.7 million, but we needed it. We needed that goalkeeper that can be in the net for the rest of this rebuild, and I believe this can be it. I can't get the centre mid. I want a Gravenberch. They're not giving me the money, guys. I can't find a centre mid at the moment. We're going to go in with the same set of centre mids this season. Hopefully the youth could do something with that. I don't know, but at the moment, that is our situation. I'm scouting like a madman for centre mids now. Hopefully we find some, because it's still the weakest position we've got at the moment, if I'm being honest. Because right back's decent, left back's good, the wingers are good, the striker's good. It's just that central midfield situation. I've turned to free transfers here at Rangers for the centre mid situation, and we've gone and signed Kovacic, who's an 84 rated centre mid, of course, the ex-Chelsea player and Real Madrid player. Another ex-Real Madrid player, 80 rated, Dani Ceballos. It's what we could do. Like, I had to go freebies. There's no money left in the budget. I spotted these two and I was like, we can't miss this opportunity. This is the time where we need to kick on in this rebuild. We're moving through the seasons now. So these are the two that have come in, and they definitely improve our central midfield situation. Another season in the books, and of course, as expected, we won the league again by quite some margin. And I've said that was going to happen the entire time. One weird thing I mentioned before about Celtic not going in for anyone, they came in for Morelos off of us. They actually came in for Morelos. It was about 70 million. And they offered a player. I can't remember who the player was. But we won the league. They're getting desperate now, Celtic, I think. We're starting to have a bit of a monopoly. But we didn't win the Scottish Cup. That was Dundee. And unfortunately for me, we did get knocked out in the first round by Celtic. Very unlucky in the first round to get Celtic. But that could actually be the end of this rebuild. We didn't make the Champions League. We weren't even in it. There was no competition. There was not... I don't know what has happened. We finished top of the league last season, and there was no champion. I'm getting a little bit peeved off with FIFA being so rubbish. So this is the league season, as you'll see, from start to finish. We did the friendlies at the start, and then just no Europe happened. There was just none. There was nothing. No Europe whatsoever. So we do the league season. There was none of the qualifiers. And I started to think to myself, what the hell's happened to Europe? So I'm hoping that's fixed next year. I have no idea what this bug is, but it's not like it's a huge shock for us, is it, that there's a bug in FIFA? If I'm not being wrongly sacked, I'm getting the BS like this. But okay, no Europe this year. I'm going to fast forward now. We're going to go through the player stats, though. We deserve to do that. And then I'm going to fast forward, and if there is no Europe, unfortunately, guys, that's going to be the rebuild, because the whole point here is to win the Champions League. We've won the league now 3 years in a row, and the cup twice, not this year, unfortunately. There we go, Morelos, again, unbelievable season, 21 goals, 18 goals for Kent and Hadji, both going up by 3, which is unbelievable. Morelos has slowed down a little bit now, so maybe in the future we'd need another striker if there's going to be a future. Aribo going up by 1 as well, which is fantastic. 12 assists for him. We take a quick look at the team. Fofana didn't really go up much out on loan, which was a shame. Kamaru has gone down 2 now. Poku didn't go up on loan, but Reece McLaughlin went up by 4 on loan. It's unbelievable. Thompson going up by 2 this year, being the backup to Ryan Kent. Now really worked for him, and he will in the future, I reckon, be the backup to Ryan Kent. Curry didn't go up on loan, and I devastated, actually. I thought he'd go up by a lot. He didn't. Durambe went up by 1, and he's back up to Hadji, and I don't see any reason to change that anytime soon. Ray went up by 7 on loan, which was really good to see. These players that have good potentials, if you loan them out, you're going to see the growth. But unfortunately, De Boer, a young Dutch maestro, only went up by 1. We've got a new young Dutch maestro as well, though. He's gone up by 2. He's an exciting prospect, Jaden van der Meer. Hopefully, we can get something out of him. Centre of the park, of course, we improved it this year, and I mean, we got the results we expected to have. Patterson going up out on loan. Hover not. Unfortunately, he's not going to reach his potential, which is a little bit frustrating. Wrench up by 2 to 82. Right behind Tavernier now, who's finally started to go down. In the back, Golson stayed the same. Bazor up 2 to 86. Teze actually went up 1, up to 79. Now, I would love some extra money. Philo going up by 2 there. But I don't think we're going to get it going into this season, because we're not going to get the Champions League money, which is really mind-boggling. Let's see what money we get next season. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Europe is fixed, or else rebuild done. Looks like the Champions League is back now. Don't know why it disappeared for a year, though. Do not know why this disappeared for a year. Come on, EA, man. You're having me life in these rebuilds. But it's back, and they just want us to reach the final. That's a normal goal for Rangers to have going back into the Champions League. Money, 51,365k, so not really much to work with again, if we're being honest. If I look at the calendar now, do we have to fight our way into the competition? We do. We have to play a playoff once again to get back into the Champions League, but at least we're back in it and there'll be some extra money from it, I'm hoping. I don't plan on doing too much with the squad. Then with the money we've got, I don't think I can do too much. I want a centre-back, though. I want a better centre-back to partner Bazor. Our first major sale is going to leave the club, and it's Morelos. I got 94.4 million for him, 87 million in the bank, and I'm going to use that to try and push us now forward into the next level. It's a huge fee. It's a huge amount of money. It was going to happen at some point. I didn't expect to have him as long as we did, but he was brilliant while we had him. Let's go snap up a new striker. Also, at the moment, currently negotiating a deal for Kovacic to leave, which I think is great. We brought him in on a free. He's 31 or 32 now, and then we make about 40 million off of him, I think. Brilliant deal from us. What a brilliant bit of business this is. I'm excited to see how he gets on this season. Let's see if he can outscore Morelos. Back in the Champions League, we need these kind of players. The next man coming into the club, and it's another big one. It's another 68.5 million, which was not planned, by the way, guys. I've only just noticed that they're the exact same transfer fees. Is Jurrien Timber, the Wonder Kid centre-back from the Netherlands. We've got 2 Wonder Kids in from Holland, which is great. I'm really happy about that, and we've gone big this time round. We needed to do it. It needed to happen. We needed to bring in these kind of players, and hopefully Timber can do a good job. I'll be honest with you, it's a huge improvement there to our back line. Timber next to Bazor, and Timber will still improve, by the way. Just really improves our back line. We're probably at a point now where Wrench comes in as the right back, and I'm quite happy with that. And it's an all-Dutch back line. Bijlo, Timber, Bazor, Bakker, and Ranch. All Dutch players. You love to see it. The end of another season, and it's not the season that we expected. We actually lost the league this year by a point in total, but we miss out on the league. Considering the squad we built, I'd say this is the strongest team we've had, and we didn't manage to achieve our goal. I would argue as well, it's just because Celtic was so good. We drew too many games is basically what happened. Now, let's see how we got on in the Cups, back in Europe again this year. I don't mind missing out on the Scottish Prem because we've won it so many times now. As long as we make sure we're performing in Europe, I feel like you could do one or the other. This game does not allow you to be good in the Prem and the Cups. It just doesn't. I don't think I've ever won a treble in these rebuilds. We did win the Scottish Cup, so that's another trophy in the cabinet. Back in the Scottish Cup, winning it again. St Mirren in the final. Crazy. In the Champions League, we did get out of our group, and fairly comfortably as well. Only 2 points behind Barcelona, who finished top. In the round of 16, though, we did come up against Real Madrid and only lost to them on penalties. So we're inching closer and closer to being a good European team. This has led to the board being a little bit angry, but I think I'll keep my job. Like, 46 seems to be cool now. We would not have kept our job before they actually patched it as well. I just want to point that out. So this is something that EA has fixed, but I mean, we've already pointed out in this one a mistake. Of course, though, first year without Morelos, and Brobby didn't really do it. He has gone up by 1, so he's going to keep climbing and improving, but he didn't score the goals that Morelos would have done. Hadji now 91 rated, going up by 3 again with 26 goals, 11 assists. Top goal scorer this season, and Kent right behind him now 92 rated, 24 goals, 50 assists. So hopefully Brobby just keeps growing. We need more from him. Arabo's still up there though, 11 goals. He's been really solid for us as a centre mid. Kent, Hadji and Arabo, top assist. Kamara even in there now into the 80s. But these two are getting on, so we are going to have to start seeing some of the young players come through. I have stopped scouting as well academy players. We're done now. We've got our academy players. Because anyone we bring in now, we're just not going to have enough time. I don't plan on this rebuild lasting that much longer. Hopefully with the funds now, we can change that. I think we needed a better backup striker, if I'm being honest with you. Fofana played 28 times with only 6 goals. So the rotation is probably now where we look to fix the team moving forward. Thompson, though, 80 rated. One of the first academy players to reach 80 this year. And I'm so happy for him. 20 as well. He's been a great backup to Kent. He's going to keep growing. Reece boy out on loan as well, going up 379 rated. It's just nuts that we've got 2 right wingers that are so good. He'll probably go out on loan again, if we're honest. Rambe only going up 1, but I mean, he's the ideal backup. Can play left and right as well, which is just such a huge positive. Curry didn't go up, so we probably will just move him on now. And again, the centre of the park is where we need to improve this time. 30, 29, 29. We're getting a little bit old, and the ball just didn't improve out on loan, which is devastating. Oliver Ray, though, is going to come back and probably be rotation this season, going up by 3. The ball will probably now be sold. I don't think I can put him up until he comes back. Vandermeer as well, going up by 4 on loan, so that's exciting to see. Wrench going up by 1. Tavernier going down. Tavernier is gone now. Patterson's going to come back and play back up to Wrench. I still think maybe we need a better player there, but we'll see for now. Timber went up by 2. His partnership with Bazor will probably be the partnership for the next couple of seasons. Bazor, though, is getting a little bit older. Teze will be back up. Goldson will be leaving at the end of the year. Bakker now needs a better backup than Bassi. That was a mouthful, because unfortunately at this stage, now that we're fighting for European football, I need better backups as well. So we'll go into the new season where hopefully, please, we get a big chunk of change. This just has to be the year where the money's there, doesn't it? It just has to be the season where we finally get a sizable budget, and it is £103 million in the bank. I'm going to have fun with that. It might only be 1 or 2 players, and that probably is the scenario we're in. I'm not going to be able to build it all in one go. Rome wasn't built in a day, if you remember. But that top-class central midfielder is being bloody signed in this window. Now, I know he's no spring chicken. I know that, but I wanted him. He's one of the players I've wanted since I knew I was doing this rebuild, and it's Mr. Donald van der Beek. Obviously, the Dutch maestro in the centre of the park, 29 years of age. We've snapped him up. It's a 2-year deal. He'll probably end up staying here for free. I think he will maintain his overall rating. He's not going to go up, but he's a country mile better than what we've got there at the moment, and he's kind of a little bit of just one of them I wanted. He is. He really is. If I was being smart about this, I wouldn't have signed him. I'd have gone for a youngster, but I'm not being smart about it, and he's probably going to replace Ceballos for this season. Really stoked for signings at the moment. After the big money signing of Donny van der Beek and no major sales, I have struggled. I've sold Kamara because he had 1 year left of his contract. He's 31 now, and we've signed this guy, Milas Valesi. Let's see how good he is. He's Slovenian. He can play in the centre of the park. He'll be a backup this season. Hopefully he'll progress a little bit. He's 22 years of age. Let's move on to the end of the season where hopefully we've done well in the Champions League. That's the main goal now. Get something done in the Champions League. The end of the season and another league title. I couldn't even tell you how many seasons in we are now. I haven't been keeping count, which I should have been, but I haven't. But we've won the league again, which is expected. But what we want is European trophy, please, for Rangers. Oh, we did a double, though. That is cool. We did a double, cup and league double, which we haven't done now for a couple of seasons. So that's decent that we managed to run them both back to back. Now, I didn't make the final of the Champions League, which is a shame. How did we get on in the group? Got knocked out by Benfica in the playoff. We didn't even make... I mean, we're still in the job, which is nuts. We didn't even make the group stage. We got knocked out in the playoffs. Please tell me we did something in the Europa League. Rangers are your Europa League champions. Yes, we did it. We've won a European Cup. It isn't the one we wanted, but I'm pretty sure that Rangers fans would take a treble. That is right. A famous treble here. The first time I've done a treble. I'm taking this one, guys, all the way to the back. We beat Freiburg 4-1 in the final. In the semi-finals, we knocked out Manchester United 5-1 on aggregate. Unbelievable stuff from us here in the Europa League. Oh, get a European title. That's That's massive. I needed that. That is a weight off of my mind. I am going to do one more season. Let's take a quick look at the team this year. Ryan Brobby just hasn't been as good as Morelos, but he's climbing. And look at that. If anybody in the comments flamed me for signing Donny van der Beek because of his age, you can bugger off. 11 assists and 23 goals. That is the best we have had out of a central midfielder in the entirety of our time in this rebuild. Robbie got 24 though, so that's no slouch. But Ryan Kent going up one more to 93. Hadji 93 as well. These two have been unbelievable. And again, I'll say it, when I do these kind of rebuilds like we had with the Norwich one, when you've still got players in the team from the start of the rebuild and they're two of the best players at the club, I always love that that is a scenario that happens. Robbie only going up by one, but I mean, he's bagging the goals, so it's not a big issue. That's definitely not somewhere I'm going to be looking to do anything next season. I don't want to go through the team too much. I will say that Kirk Thompson went out on loan and he's now 86 rated, so he is going to be the backup next season. I don't know. Maybe we retrain him to play a striker because our backup striker isn't that good. But the team looks decent. I don't want to pick through it too much because we're at a stage now where I am going to do one more season and that's it. If we win the Champions League, we win it. If we don't, we don't. I'm not going to show you the transfers. I'll show you them at the end of the season. I will see you now at the end of that season where hopefully we've won the Champions League. Leave a comment down below now and let me know if you think we're actually going to win a Champions League. We couldn't even make it into it this season, but the team ended up going on this unbelievable run. It does drive me mad that because there is no coefficients in FIFA, that we have to qualify in that manner every year. But I'm expecting a huge budget. I don't think we need to change too much. We're very good in the majority of positions. I could potentially sign a superstar centre mid to go alongside Van der Beek and Arabo, and then Ceballos would be a backup. But that's probably about it. Here we have it then, at the end of our final season here with Rangers. I've actually enjoyed this rebuild, and I will say to you now, guys, these rebuilds do take a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time to do, just even from the monotonous offering people new contracts. So massively appreciate if you made it to this stage. Please smash that like button for me as well, and leave comments. It doesn't have to be anything. It could just say, hi Yorkie, how are you, mate? Because at the end of the day, that just helps us get seen by more and more people. But as you can see, we did win the Scottish Premiership. So only twice we didn't win it. Season 1 and then a season there in the middle. Because I don't know what season we're on anymore. And yeah, we won the league, which was expected, to be fair. The one season we didn't win it after that first year. I was very surprised. How did we do in the Scottish Cup? Winning it again. So we have won the Scottish Cup, I think, every year minus one, actually. Because I think we won the Scottish Cup in our first season, so that's pretty impressive. 5-1 against St Johnstone. I don't know how they managed to get there. I reckon Celtic will have gone through about 4 or 5 managers. Now, we were in the Super Cup, so this could be a treble right here. We did win it. We beat PSG to win the Super Cup, and I'm claiming that as a treble. Are we on for a quad? We made it out of our group top. We won every single game. Juve, Young Boys, and Lokomotiv Moscow, so I will be honest, we're handed a little bit of a comfortable group, if we're being 100% honest with ourselves. Now, in the round of 16, we finished top, so that usually means you get a comfortable draw. We did not. We did not get a comfortable draw. Of the teams that we could have drawn there, I would have taken pretty much any of them, minus, say, like Man City, Liverpool, maybe even Real Madrid, although they lost to Roma. One of the ones I definitely wouldn't have wanted was Bayern Munich, who beat us 3-0, and I'm not surprised because I know some of the players they have in their squad. We actually signed Brian Brobby from them. They have some unbelievable players. When I say we signed Brian Brobby from them, we stole him. They were in for him at the same time. So hopefully they went on and won it. Did Bayern Munich? 2-2. Yes, they did. Okay, so we lost to the winner, at least. How do you fancy your luck to get the team that wins this competition? Honestly, they've got an unbelievable squad, lads. Get a team that wins the competition. It is what it is. I'm really happy with the rebuild and what we've managed to achieve in it. I'm not going to lie. We've never been given a ridiculous budget. The highest budget I had was the season before this one, and it was 10 million. This season, we had less. It was about 95 million, and I spent all of it on Barella. Yes, Barella. That's who we signed. It was only the one signing, and guess what? That signing was my top goal scorer. 22 goals, 11 assists. Ryan Kent up there again. Unbelievable stuff from Ryan Kent. 95 rated. He's basically the English Ronaldo at this stage, and Hadji's the Romanian Messi. I mean, unbelievable stuff. We've got 2 of the best players in the world on our team here at Rangers, and they started at the club. Robbie came in. He's gone up 2 to 88, but he hasn't been as good as Morelos. And Maybe that was a mistake letting Morelos go, but at his age, I thought it was the right choice. And maybe signing Bobby over Wadu, who actually plays for Bayern Munich, was a mistake as well. But I don't know. He still had a decent time with us. Fortunately, Fofana didn't really fulfill what we wanted for him, but we did get some good young players. This one, Kirk Thompson, by far and above the best youth player we've got. I think he could end up being one of the best players at the club, up there with like Ryan Kent style of rating, because at 22, he's 87. But you know, Reese boy here did well as well. At 22, 81 rated is no slouch. Rambe, again, this guy could be brilliant. He starts at 69, the magic number. At the age of 26, he's 84 rated, but I know he could have been better. He's played second fiddle to Hadji the entire rebuild. Vandermeer went out up by 3 on loan. Ceballos did well for us. Ray, you know, there was just no youngster that really broke through to the team. The best youngsters we got were wingers. And unfortunately, we were already stacked at the winger position. Barella there. You know, him and Donny van der Beek together. Van der Beek, at the age of 31, went up by 3, which is crazy. Aribo as well. It's always nice when you've kept players from the initial rebuild. And Aribo has been with us the entire time as well. And I love that because I wanted him to be. I wanted him to be one of those players. French up to 85. He's had a decent time. Teze as well, who we signed very early on, has done well. But look at Richadley Bazor. We brought him back to what people thought he was going to be in the first place at 31 up to this year to 91. Him and Timber will have formed an unbelievable partnership. And I think we did ourselves justice with the Dutch players. As justice as I could have done myself with the players we've signed. Back there as well, going up to 88. Our entire back line was Dutch. Bilo, 89. There was some out there that I would love to have got. Depay was one of them. Boadu, of course, is one of them. Cody from PSV, I would have liked the winger as well as De Ligt if we could have managed to achieve it. But at the end of the day, there was some that we had to sign really early doors into their career. Per Schurz was one that nearly ended up being the player. If he didn't cost as much as he did at the time, we probably would have taken him over Bazor. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I've really enjoyed it. I sit down, honestly, though, these take like 6 or 7 hours. No word of a lie. It's like 1 o'clock now, Saturday evening. You're going to be seeing this, hopefully, Sunday evening. I hope you've all had a bloody good weekend. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much for your support. There is going to be a video coming out soon. It will be a channel update video, but I will point out in that video, I'm going to announce that I've started a Patreon. I know if you've made it to the end of the video, you're one of the OGs. You're one of the people that might want to support the channel just a little bit more. Now, I've been up and down on whether we do a Patreon or not, and I'm in my 2nd year now of creating content as full-time as possible on YouTube, and it was kind of put to me that I should give you guys the opportunity. If no one pledges to it doesn't matter. Doesn't make a difference. I've made one. It will be in the description. There are no bonuses. I don't want to give anyone any special treatment by choosing to support me more. The only thing we might do is do a credit screen at the end of videos that your name will be on. I also might post in Patreon ideas of saves that we're going to do. I never want it to be the case that if you can afford to give money to the channel to see it grow and help it improve and support us doing this full time, that someone who can't afford that doesn't get the same luxuries. I don't like that. That's not what I'm about. At the end of the day, I'm not even sure whether this was something I wanted to do, but I just think it's only fair to let you guys have an opportunity to do that, which will allow me to continue full time. Because if I'm being honest, my luck is running out with being able to do this full time for the foreseeable future. And that is a way that might help me achieve doing it full time more often. But anyway, I don't really like talking about it. It's up there. There's 3 tiers, I think, from £1 to £5 to £10. If anyone wants to do anything on there, feel free to do it. If not, do not worry whatsoever. I just appreciate the support that I'm being shown and the love on the series that you guys are showing. I am going to go and edit this now. I'm going to need another cup of coffee because it's very early in the morning. But appreciate each and every one of you. I love you all. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one, in the next Let's Play or the next rebuild.